I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothon.
Talladega Super Speedway lives up to its name. Of all the closed-circuit motorsports facilities in the world where sanctioned auto races are held, it is the fastest. Constructed by the France family 10 years after Daytona International Speedway, Talladega was built slightly longer at 2.66 miles, with steeper banking at 33 degrees, which guaranteed record-setting speeds. The pole speed for NASCAR's first race in 1969 was a stunning 199.46 miles per hour, almost 30 miles per hour faster than Indy cars were then lapping at Indianapolis. Rule changes in 1987 meant Bill Elliott's 212.809 mile per hour lap will likely stand forever as the qualifying record at Talladega and for NASCAR. Talladega is still the fastest track on the schedule, holds the record for the fastest 500-mile stock car race at 188.354 miles per hour, Mark Martin's winning speed in May of '97, and produces some of the most exciting door-to-door action every year. Talladega puts on 5 separate race events each year as host to the NASCAR Cup Series, Xfinity, Craftsman Trucks, and the ARCA Series. And tonight, it's race 1 of the Davidson Builders Truck Series, and it's next on HBR TV. Take a look at our race info for tonight. 80 laps, the race distance, qualifying already underway. It'll be 2 laps, a 10-minute session. Air temperature at the track is 78 degrees, relatively dry at 38% humidity, 5-mile-per-hour breeze, and partly cloudy skies. Track temp 121 degrees currently. That should start to fall as the afternoon drags on, but not likely to be much of an issue here at the Speedway. Again, tires likely to not be of any concern to any of these drivers either. They do have a few sets to work with if necessary, but let's go down and see where everyone's stacking out qualifying-wise as it is still underway here at Talladega. Fastest so far is the 89 of Mike Adamson, a 56.06. Parsons, 56.08, then an 09, then a 10, then a 90. You're going to see these lap times be very, very close. Wide open throttle all the way around this 2.66-mile speedway. Lap 1 likely to be the fastest, believe it or not. Some guys may have thought that lap 2 was faster, but as tire pressures build, the truck gets a little bit taller, a little more draggy, a little slower on the straightaway. Zach Millett into the tri-oval, finishing up his first lap. Or that was just his out lap. So Millett now on the green flag lap. So this will be his first time lap around. Albert Anderson goes P1, 56.01, almost getting into that 55-second category. Sperling goes P2. Now Milner goes top of the board, 55.97. The tri-oval over the bump there in the middle of the tri-oval. Again, start finish is just past pit exit here at the Speedway. Millett's time of 56.16 puts him 14th on the board. Admittedly, Zach not much of a super speedway racer, but you throw him on a mile and a half and he's a weapon. Joshua Sisk on the track in the number 6 machine. Sisk takes the green flag. Josh way up the racetrack here in 1 and 2. The old school way of thinking was let's run the top lane there. It seemed to be the way to go. It's the longest way, but you're not scrubbing the tires as much on the top side. But if you're above that white line that he is at in that top lane, you do build a little bit of a drag off of the safer barrier, and it actually does slow the truck down a bit. So coming down a half lane or even a full lane, it's usually the best way to go once you're at speed. Sisk through the tri-oval here. He's going to cross the stripe, put his first lap up. 57.25. Mark Collins on the track. Mark out of Castlewood, Virginia. Down the backstretch. Collins pulls it down to the bottom of the racetrack. First lap for Collins. 56.419 puts him 18th on the board. Justin Lawson now just taking the green on his qualifying effort. Brian Torsha, the fastest in qualifying thus far, at a 55.90, a great lap. Might have caught the wind just right. And a 10-minute session to get it done. You've got 2 laps. It's up to you when you pull out of the pits, as long as you can back time it so that you get both laps in. Granted, again, that first lap likely to be the quickest as air pressures build in these trucks, makes them a little bit taller, a little draggier. Got Dr. Shakaloo says boogity, boogity, boogity for another season of NTRL racing. Let's go NTG and Pat Mahaney in the 11. Thanks for stopping into the stream chat, Doc, as Lawson goes P6, 56.039. Ben McKinnon on the track, the number 15 Cub Cadet entry. McKinnon goes 7th of 56.037. PJ Cox out of Somerset, Kentucky. Full 60 seconds remain in the session. Looks like PJ may get to the stripe just in time to get his second lap in. First one's a 56.10. Mike Eden in the number 8. Off turn 4 on his first lap. .56.193 puts Eden 25th fast. Handful of drivers not taking a time just yet. Justin Morrow, Dave Holmberg, Russ Kilgore, Mark Beverly, Jeff Ottinger. Not enough time to get a lap in now, so they're going to start in order of their I rating at the tail of the field, behind the drivers that did take time. And that's it, qualifying in the books. So first race out, the Davidson Builders Truck Series. Brian Torsha puts it on pole position. Let's go through our starting grid for tonight's race number 1 here from Talladega. Brian Torsha on the pole position, 55.903 seconds to his outside. It's Chris Klein, missed it by 60 thousandths. Starting third, Jesse Sperling, the number 29. Then it's Scott Milner in the 31. Albert Anderson's going to roll from the 5th spot. Paul Durkee in P6. Starting 7th, Ben McKinnon in the 15. Justin Lawson's going to start in the 8th spot. 9th goes to Jacob Sperling. 10th, Mike Adamson. 11th starter is going to be Hunter Parsons in the number 5 RTR Esports machine. Cole Henriksen in the 101. He'll start 12th. 13th starter, it's going to be Jacob Bowen. PJ Cox going to roll P14. Mark Collins, 15th. Joshua Sisk starting in the 16th spot in the number 6. Yeah, say that one. See if you do any better. Starting 17th, Patrick Mahaney in the 11. 18th goes to Evan Dupre in the 47. Derek Welch starting 19th. Eric Beadle with Beadle Motorsports. The number 119 is going to roll from 20th. Skylar Harrod in the 3 with Beer Money Racing starts 21st. Tom Barish 22nd. Zach Millett, that S4 guy with Holler Boys Racing TV, the 315 will start 23rd. Brandon Coleman, the number 19, starts 24th. Mike Eden, 25th. D. Alan Grote in the 10, he'll start 26th. Alfie Charon, 27th. Mark Beverly, 28th. Jeff Ottinger, 29th. 30th goes to Russ Kilgore. 31st, Dave Holmberg. And last but not least, especially in our hearts, it's Justin Morrow starting 32nd and shotgun on the field in the number 46. Your starting grid here from Talladega Super Speedway. Field starting to roll on 1 of 1 pace laps. Brian Torsha is going to lead them to green. Jonathan Arnn in the chat as well, cheering on PJ Cox. Chris Gones, go HBR, but my pick tonight's the 51 of Chris Klein. That's not really saying go HBR if you're picking somebody else. I think he just likes the sponsor. It's Chris Gones' pick. Chris Klein out of Buford, Georgia. Already, guys, saving fuel with the clutch in down the backstretch. 65% maximum fuel capacity on these trucks, so it's going to force them to try and get to some green flag pit stops here. 2 sets of tires available over the wall. Again, not that you truly need them. You could absolutely, 80 laps here at Dega, get away with not taking tires the whole race. You might see some guys take a set, maybe 2 full sets. They might burn them up if they have the ability without losing any track position. We talked about it a bunch as far as the super speedways are concerned, at least here in Daytona. It's not so much that tires are necessary for time and lap fall off, but they do come in handy if you're trying to make those aggressive moves. Still trying to hang on to the back of that truck, not letting it swing out and get loose on you on corner exit or when we make those moves. But if you don't need them, don't take them. Pace truck down pit lane, getting ready for the green flag here again. Start-finish line past pit exit, which means the exit of the Tri-Oval, very different from Daytona. Barney the flagman with the green in hand. The field approaching the Geico start zone. Green flag in the air. Barney's waving it. We're racing for the first race of the season here. Numb Thumbs Racing League is underway. Car in the wall off turn number 2. We got trouble already. One driver in the fence. I don't know if it was... No, it was Alan Grote already back to pit lane. We stay under the green flag. I don't know if the admins just didn't catch it for the yellow, if there wasn't enough involved, but there was 2 trucks there making contact and spinning on the backstretch. We come back to start-finish line to complete lap number 1. Brian Torsha is going to have the race lead. How long will it last? We'll see. Chris Klein working to the outside. He's got a little bit of drafting help from the 31 of Scott Milner. At the stripe, though, I think Torch is going to lead this one with the 29 right in behind. That's Jesse Sperling. 3 wide for the second row. Already some aggression showing here at Talladega Super Speedway. Gotta say, Derek Welch is a bit of a sadist, putting Talladega Super Speedway as race number 1 of the season. Yes, you got a lot of guys in here that are familiar with each other and have raced together, but you've also got a good mix of drivers. This is their first race with Numb Thumbs Racing League. Really got to build some chemistry and some camaraderie amongst your drivers to really have a safe and efficient race at these super speedways. Started off, it can be difficult, but then again, we do it with Daytona all the time. On board with Brian Torsha, looking out the right side. Chris Klein to his outside. Top lane moving a little better than the bottom. Chris Klein gets a nose out in front. He's clear. He can drop down if he wants. Stays top side. Torch is going to get the run on the bottom. Seesaw back and forth, the top lane, the bottom lane, going to go back and forth. It's all going to come down to who's got the most help. With this big of a field, I think we ended up at 31 trucks, 32 that is. Now 31 with Grote in pit lane after that first lap crash. Some big shakers on the outside. You got Alfie Sharon and Eric Beadle. Klein goes up the racetrack to block. That's a real aggressive block, and it gets into Alfie Sharon. He turns it, but he keeps it straight. Somehow we stay under green. Oh, now we got a wreck in the back of the pack. Still under green. Got two incidents here in the opening laps that should have brought out a yellow that haven't. iRacing asleep at the wheel on this one, apparently. Ryan Torcher continues to lead this race. Alfie Sharon somehow sticks in there in the 5th spot, even after that contact. How he managed to gather that truck up, I'll never understand. Sharon up now to the 3rd spot, still trying to catch his breath. I think he's got some left front damage. Let's try to get a closer look at it. Yeah, a little bit of left front damage, not significant. So Albert Anderson is taking over the top spot now. Chris Klein runs P2. Alfie Sharon there in 3rd, but the outside lane moving once again. Another familiar name, it's the 13 of Paul Turkey. Now with that incident, it separated the field pretty significantly into a couple of different groups. You got a relatively large lead pack, probably better than half the field. You've got some guys further back. Sisk there at the back of this lead pack, still within the draft. Keep an eye on this number 6. We raced with him in the charity race not too long ago. He was an excellent pusher. Pushed my truck out into the lead numerous times until we both ended up getting wrecked late. I don't want to say, wow, we have a break in the action, because there really isn't one. But let's take a look at that first incident on the backstretch off turn number 2 with Alan Grote. Okay, you see Grote gets into the fence on exit, or is that Grote? It was the 10. They got in the wall, clipped the 55. That was Tom Barish. Just trying to get it off the wall. He drives it hard down to the bottom. And I think in his case, he got far enough off the racetrack fast enough that it didn't pull the yellow. Albert Anderson having some connection issues. It's checked up the low lane for sure, as they don't know where he is or where he's going to reappear, if he's going to reappear. You certainly don't want it to happen in your lap. Anderson slips back to the back of the pack. He does come back in, but in 9th now disappears again, and we got trouble. This is all a result of what we just saw happening, and he gets into the 6th. Remember, Albert Anderson was having some connection issues, disappeared there for the better part of half a lap, reappeared in the 9th position. Remember, he was leading at the time. And I think that may have been what happened. He just landed on top of a truck. Nothing you can do about it. It's internet connection related. try and get a replay of it, but the unfortunate part is if it's a driver that was having connection problems, it may not have registered the replay. We'll give it a try here. Yeah, you see, it's tough to really see it. I want to back it up again. If you look at this, look at the 9-truck Alfie Chair and the black and red HBR TV entry, and then you see Anderson. He has reappeared literally in the tailgate, in the truck bed of Alfie Charon. That's just where he landed when he got his connection back. So unfortunately, that does cause an incident. We'll watch it happen as he checks up. Torch gets into the back bumper and sends Anderson up the racetrack. As that happens, he loses connection again, but then comes back in, loses connection. That's unfortunate. Anderson was going to be quick and one to contend with here, and he's in trouble. Granted, he does have a fast repair. You just got to hope he can get those internet issues straightened out. Definitely some right front damage on Anderson's truck. You see it hopping up and down. Definitely broken suspension. He's going to have to burn the one and only fast repair that he has. His pit lane is open. Leaders are going to come down here, and only 2 sets of tires to work with. I can't imagine anybody's going to take them here. It's going to be fuel only. They are on a reduced fuel capacity at 65% maximum. Durkee into the box. And as we suspected, not taking tires. Oh, he's in the wrong box. Somebody jumped in there behind him thinking it was his pit box. Looks like everybody makes it out relatively unscathed. Zach Millett still looking clean as far as the truck is concerned. Alfie Charon stays in the pits trying to get some repairs made. Again, he had some issues there, not only in that one incident where he almost went all the way around. It was a masterful save, but had some left front damage then. Now with this incident, with Anderson landing in the back of his truck, I don't know if he's got some rear end damage he's trying to get addressed without the fast repair, trying to save it for when it's really necessary. Charon down and away. So 10 laps in, we've had a lot of excitement in these first 10 laps. Paul Durkee, your race leader. Justin Lawson runs in the second spot. These two are teammates. They're going to have to restart side by side when we go back to the green flag. Pace truck lights go out. Evan Dupre is going to be the wave around car, or a truck in this case. Dupre with the Citizens fan cast livery on the number 47 machine. So let's take a look at this restart. When we get ready to go here, you see Eric Beadle in behind the 13 of Paul Durkee. I don't know if Durkee's going to try and jump to an early lead here to let his teammate Lawson jump in behind. You got to remember the starting procedure and restart procedure here at Talladega Super Speedway, the Geico restart zone. Once you're in that zone, you can fire either as soon as you get into it or in the middle or at the end. It's your preference. That is the advantage that the leader does have. So if I'm Durkee and I'm trying to work together with a teammate, I'm going to punch it and go, try to get a jump on the 119 of Beetle, let my teammate jump in behind me, and now I got a pusher that I know and trust. I don't know that we legitimately have manufacturer's deals as far as Chevy, Ford, Toyota is concerned, but I know myself as a Chevy guy personally, if I'm on the racetrack and I've got the option to work with a fast Ford or a fast Chevy, well, I'm sticking with the Chevy because that's what I run. Don't know if that's always the case. You typically want to go with the guys that are going to get you to the front, but if I can pick the Chevrolet over the Ford or the Toyota, I'm going to do it. See the 88 Jacob Sperling in behind Beetle. That's another Chevrolet, so I can see him working to try and get around these Toyotas. Green flag back in the air. A little wheel spin out of Durkee on the start. He did try to jump it. Another bit of wheel spin out of Eric Beetle. Lawson's clear, it looks like. He can probably drop down if he wants to. He's going to build a big run. He's got Chris Klein on the back door here. I think Durkee's out to too far of an advantage here. I think they're going to chew him up out of 2. Smart move to stay up top. More numbers of trucks there. Eric Beetle going for the second spot. Brian Torsha giving him a push. He might go all the way to the race lead here in the middle of 3 and 4. Eric Beetle on the bottom. Brian Torsha giving him the push. These guys work together. Out of turn 4. Torch drops down below the yellow line, takes a peek. Big push coming. Gonna watch the bump in the middle of the trial. Well, it's a tricky place to push from. At the stripe, Beetle doesn't have it just yet. Torch trying to hang on to the back bumper and the tailgate of that 119 truck in the low lane. Durkee staying up top with his teammate Lawson. Chris Klein in behind. Then it's the 5. That's Hunter Parsons. Big time push from Lawson. Keeps Durkee out in the lead here. We're 3 wide here for the front couple of rows. 7 trucks all fighting for the race lead. Oh, we got trouble, big time trouble. Eric Beetle up the racetrack into the fence hard, and we've got the big one already here, lap 13. Throw the red, folks. This was a big one. Fast trucks at the front of the field. It just goes to show you, being out front is not always the place that you want to be in these races. Yes, it can feel good. It's fun. Sometimes it's safe, but certainly not that time. Eric Beetle going into the outside safer barrier, flashing it back to 2001. Scary, scary wreck. Well, let's try and get a look at it. You saw it happen live. We'll see it in slow motion. It's already underway. Millett's into it as well. Gonna rewind it. So you see Durkee gets off center with Lawson. Lawson just, you can't push these trucks in the corners if you're not square, and that's what happened. It sent the 13 down the track into Beetle. And then the wreck is on from there. Trucks on top of trucks, trucks on their roofs. Josh Sisk in this one as well. Derek Welch, Ottinger, PJ Cox. Can you see Zach Millett in trouble? Alfie Charon's in the middle of it. I don't know if he got a piece or not. Let's watch it from the in-car and Alfie Charon at speed. Days of Thunder style. Looks like Alfie got a little bit of an impact from the rear. Watch the number 9, top of the racetrack, in behind the 31. Everybody's checking up. He catches it early. Good eye. The 15 does not. Drives right in the back of Alfie. And again, I think Alfie still had the faster pair at the time of this incident. Remember, he was spending extra time in pit lane trying to get some repairs made from his previous incidents. He might still have it. I don't know if he's going to opt to fix it with that or not. He's been in the pits now for a full minute plus. He might be trying to just fix it normal. I don't know where the leaders are at the time. I think they're into turn 3. Alfie's still in the pits, waiting to get moving here. Wants to stay on the lead lap. So Alfie's truck, I mean, it's not perfect and pristine, but it's pretty straight. If he stays in the draft, he's certainly not going to have a problem. He can use that fast repair later on if he wants to clean things up and give it a little bit more slipperiness in the wind. So working our second caution of the afternoon, 15 laps in here from Talladega Super Speedway. Jacob Sperling is now your race leader. Today being the 12th of September. Sperling rocking the 911 Tribute paint scheme. Very good looking truck. Jesse Sperling is in the second spot, the number 29. I can only make the connection that they're related. I don't know this is a fact, but it would make sense. So the lights are off the iRacing official pace truck, which means we're going back green flag racing the next time by at lap 17 when we take the green. The drivers involved in that: Alan Grote, Mike Eden, Paul Durkee, Jeff Ottinger, Justin Morrow, Albert Anderson, Joshua Sisk, Mike Adamson, Tom Barish, Eric Beadle, Evan Dupre. Seems that is the majority of them. There were some others, again, that were not in it significantly, but Alfie Chera not on that list. Took some damage in the incident. Zach Millett as well. Millett's truck looks pretty good. I'm going to assume that he's used the fast repair, though. His pit stop, 17.77 seconds. So that's just the top off of fuel and maybe some repairs. Maybe he still has his fast repair as well. He's going to have to hustle to catch this pack. They're already into the tri-oval. He's just getting into, I think, turn 3. Might be there in time.
Green flag.
Green flag is out. Millett catches the tail of the field here. We're back racing from Talladega. Sperling and Sperling in front of the field. Also your injury attorneys. Down into turn number 1. Chris Klein now moves to the outside. Looking to make a move here. Not enough help from the 3 of Harad. Jacob and Jesse Sperling both down the back straightaway on the inside. The 31 machine, Scott Milner, in behind them. Then it's the 5 of Hunter Parsons. Then the 05 of PJ Cox. He's up in the high side, though, in behind the 19, the 3, and the 51. The 19, Brandon Coleman. The 51, of course, Chris Klein. We've talked a bunch about that Toyota tonight already. Klein trying to block both lanes up the middle here. He's going to open the door for the 3, though. Coleman's going to go in behind Klein, though, and give him some help. Kind of hang the 3 out the dry, trying to come back down and side draft. Harad trying to make it work, but he's going to get hung out here. Freight train him to the back. Little wiggle from Coleman. Thought there was going to be contact. Don't need that. Again, early here in this race. We've already had one big one. We don't need another. Getting word from Eric Beadle's crew that he's done for the race. Fast repair was not clicked. He's got 40 minutes of required after the tow. His day is over with. Tough break for the 119. Had a strong truck tonight. Was looking good near the front of the field. He was actually going for the race lead at the time of that incident. 19 laps down. Chris Klein out with the lead. Brandon Coleman still pushing him from the outside lane. The 3 up the racetrack again. Coleman goes up the block, or maybe it was just a wiggle trying to save the truck. Hard to say exactly. Harad sticking to the back bumper for now out of turn number 2. Inside lane coming back through. Driver crossing over, switching lanes in the back of those pack. About the 10th position. Number 45 machine, Mark Beverly, has caught my eye. It's a good-looking paint scheme. It's not a silver bullet, but it looks like the Coors Light sponsorship paint scheme. It just says Bronco instead. Good-looking truck. One thing I do love about these seasons, getting them started, seeing all the new paint schemes that everybody has out there. Top 29 trucks still on the lead lap. Mahaney, the first truck, 1 lap down in 30th, and it's Grote 5 laps down, and Beadle still in the pits, but likely out of this race. Klein clicks off another one here, lap 21 up on the board. Skylar Harad to the outside in that black and red number 3 machine. PJ Cox in behind. So far his only dancing partner on the high side. Down low, they've got the numbers, they've got the organization. Certainly going to be a little bit faster as one truck pulls out of line. Down the apron, he's going to go to the back. Doesn't like what he sees in this mix. Smart move. Quarter distance here, just trying to survive to the finish. Sometimes you got to pull out of line, go to the back, let things settle down, or let the chaos unfold without you being in it. On board with Skylar Harad as he looks at Chris Klein. This is the battle for the top spot here as they cross the stripe once again. 22 laps in. Big run on the inside. Klein's going to go back to the point here just a bit. Alongside. Another run out of turn number 2. Harad's going to have the run now. Seesaw, back and forth, back and forth. This is what we're used to seeing in these super speedways. Drafting help. As long as you got it, it's going to go back and forth like this. PJ Cox, a good pusher, especially on these super speedways. That's who's behind the 3. Big run, but now on the bottom it seems like they're relatively even at the stripe. Harad's going to lead this lap as well. If that were the last lap, that'd be all, folks. They drop it down to the inside. They're going to shuffle Chris Klein back to that 4th position in the low lane. Klein tries to jump to the outside in front of the 45. A brazen move, kind of early for that, but he's making it work. Beverly giving him a push now to the outside lane. The 51 to Klein just will not go away. He's got a fast truck, and he's good at these super speedways. Again, at the beginning of the broadcast, Chris Goins picked him. Little wiggle for P.J. Cox. That's not something we're used to seeing, is handling issues in the middle of the corner, especially in the truck, especially at Talladega. Derek Welch was thinking about making a move to the outside of another number 13 truck. That's Paul Durkee, the leader from earlier. Remember, Durkee was involved in that major crash. He was able to use his fast repair. Derek Welch still some left side damage on the number 1 truck. Back out front, Herod still with a great push for P.J. Cox, keeping him out in the wind. Chris Klein has the advantage just into turn 3, but for how long? P.J. jumps off, and more wiggles coming from P.J. Cox. I got to wonder what the situation on the 05 is. Is he just trying to keep his line, or is he really having handling problems? Tommy Welch in the stream chat says Klein's very good at picking lanes and finding runs. It's certainly evident. You got to think fast. If you hesitate and then make your move, that's when you end up in the wall. Klein didn't hesitate, jumped up in that top lane in front of the 45 of Beverly. Got to give a call to Beverly. He's up 24 positions on the day. Started 28. Now he's up into third, so add 1. And that's going to change a bunch down here just in the back straightaway. Battle for the lead continues between the 3 and the 51. Been about 10, 11 laps since our pit stops under caution. Got a 65% fuel load, and these guys are hammered down all the way around the racetrack, not lifting a bit. Maybe in the draft you're trying to save some fuel because you can get away with it. Pick your right foot up off the wood just a bit. You can still maintain pace, but you're not going to be knocking the tailgate off the truck in front of you. But you're saving a lot of fuel as well. Beverly making a look to the outside, had a great run, pushed the 51, and then just gently moves to the outside. He's got help from the 76 at Jeff Ottinger. They're going to hang up Chris Klein out in the middle here. The meat and the sandwich is just going to go to the back, but Derek Welch is coming up in the center. He may give the 51 a push when he gets there, but how many spots will he lose before then? Welch tucks in behind Paul Durkee. Now some drafting help for Klein in front of him. It's the 76 of Ottinger. I don't know if that was a planned exchange there. Maybe one of the trucks may have been overheating. Close contact with a 00 in the 18. I tell you, P.J. Cox is pushing with all his might on the back of that number 3 truck. I do have to say, it's kind of sacrilegious to see an Earnhardt stylized 3 on a Ford, but that's just my opinion. So Rod still leads. 19 of Coleman. Took a peek to the outside. I think he's just trying to gauge that if he pulls out to pass, is Cox going to go with him? He could push the 05 to the race lead if he does that, but now his opportunity is about to disappear as the 45 of Mark Beverly working to the outside again. Jeff Ottinger pushing. The 88 of Sperling there as well. Jacob, that is. Big push from Ottinger is going to send the 45 down the backstretch, possibly to the point. Ottinger gets off the back bumper just a bit in the middle of the corners to not spin the 45. We get to 2 or 3 laps to go. You won't see anybody lift. They're going to be pushing all the way through, and that's when the chaos really starts to unfold. Drivers have really settled in here. We still have 2 distinct lanes, top to bottom. Everyone's starting to settle in. Still about 10, 11 laps shy of halfway. Rod still with the race lead. PJ Cox still pushing. Kind of wonder how hot the motor is getting underneath the hood of PJ Cox's machine. Rod leads that lap. Now Beverly trying to come back around the outside from Ottinger, giving some help. 18 truck. Justin Lawson there as well. Ottinger going left and right. I think he was thinking about making a move here, but no one really helping him to get it done. Again, no stage breaks in this series. Driving straight through. Jonathan Arndt in the stream chat talking about some lap traffic that may be coming into play here momentarily. So you're right on board with Mark Beverly. Beverly out of Salem, Ohio. I've been there. Lap truck actually drops down to the apron, going to let the field go on by without incident. It looks like that's Albert Anderson getting way off the pace. Anderson gives way. Something that we definitely see out of guys like Albert Anderson. He's got a lot of good racecraft and certainly a lot of respect for the drivers that are at full speed here. Had his connection issues that resulted in a big wreck, and unfortunately for Anderson, he's out of this one. He's still in the race, but out of contention for a win. He's going to let these guys fight it out. Slow truck down low. I think that might have been Jacob Sperling. Indeed it was. Sperling made a pit stop here at lap 30, and I think he did it all by himself. Not to say he's not a big boy, but you got to come out of pit lane here with some dancing partners, and he does not have them. He's not up to full speed. He's certainly going to lose the draft here. He's got to cross his fingers and hope these guys start pitting as well, and maybe he can get lucky with a straggler later on, but he's just going to lose time every single lap until he can get a drafting partner, or 2 or 3. We found that even 2 or 3 guys formed up tight at Talladega is not enough to catch a big pack like what they have right now. It's better than nothing. Right now he's got nothing. .33 laps in, the number 3 truck as Skylar Harrod still leads. PJ Cox showing his ability to push in the draft. I think he's just trying to build some trust with the driver in front. We talked about that early in the broadcast, how a lot of these drivers are unfamiliar with their competitors. This is an opportunity to build some camaraderie between the two. Getting into that circle of trust as we got another car, or a truck in this case, off the racetrack, headed down pit lane. Catch who that was. I think it might have been the 31. Indeed it is. Scott Milner, 31 machine, down pit lane. He comes down by himself as well. It's an interesting strategy here. Might be one that he's forced into, I'm not sure. Milner in the box. Does he put tires? No, he does not. Smart move. Fuel only for the 31. 9 seconds, 10 seconds, 11 seconds, 12 seconds. You know, we talk about not needing tires, but when your pit stop's 12.6 seconds for just fuel, you could have at least taken 2, or maybe to spend the extra couple of seconds for the 4. Those the leader is bearing down on him. Two seconds would have made a huge difference in this case. So if you don't need them, don't bother. And he didn't bother. Milner's still ahead. I think he's still going to get freight trained here. So he's not going to be up to full speed like the rest of the pack is. So by comparison, we ride on board with Milner right now. He's at 167, 168 miles an hour. The race leader in the draft, 180 miles an hour. As everybody's down pit road, we got a big group of drivers coming down to take their pit stops here. Caught me off guard. A little bit of right side damage on the 3 truck. I don't know if that just happened. Adamson in the pits. Hunter Parsons, PJ Cox. Very nice entry into the pit box for PJ Cox. Getting fuel only once again. Haven't seen anybody put the truck up on jacks yet. PJ Cox in and out. He's going to beat the 3 out of pit lane, but this whole group is going to work out nicely for him. They're all still drafting together, so that's a bonus for just about all these guys. So Brandon Coleman, now his opportunity. He has the race lead, but now he peels off, hits pit lane as well. Does everybody get through this without a penalty? And Millett's trying not to avoid him. Locks him up on entry. Millett usually very good trying to get to pit lane. He's kind of forced into the pit boxes because of that. We didn't want to run over the 19. The league does have a rule about shadow boxing. I don't know that I would necessarily call it on that. That was simply just trying to avoid contact. Certainly did not gain an advantage out of it, but he's down and away. Fuel only for Millett. Lawson's out ahead of him, so he's got a dancing partner as well. And look, the rest of that pack there at the same time as the race leaders come through the tri-oval. Well, what's soon to be the race leader? Lawson leaves pit lane as the leader technically, but at full speed, that would have been fine. But he's got to get this truck wound out all the way down the backstretch. Those trucks all lined up in a single truck draft out of turn number 2. They're going to be coming in a hurry. That draft's going to kick in here. Lawson will be up to speed here. Only loses a few spots. So PJ Cox now out in front in the 0-5. And as we talked early in the broadcast, look who's pushing. It's the number 6, the Joshua 6, Sisk. I'm going to mess this up all season long, I guarantee it. He dropped to the bottom, tried to make the move on PJ Cox for the race lead. Door was slammed in his face. The 3 of Harad in behind the 6 was going to push him to that lead, but no opportunity to do so. Cox still with the race lead out of turn 4, back to the tri-oval, coming to lap 39. Let's ride on board with the 3 as he takes the spot away, lifts pretty significantly, thought he was going to make contact with the Sisk. Two Holler Boys Racing TV entries, Zach Millett and Alfie Charon lined up on the outside. Millett with a big push from Alfie, going for the race lead. It was a 2-truck draft. It was able to get by this 6-truck pack on the bottom. 6, maybe 7, I can count. Now it's 3. The 89 rolls up in behind Alfie Charon. That's the 89 truck of Mike Adamson. It's more trucks on the bottom lane, but you see him slithering down the back straightaway. You got to stay lined up. You got to be pinned straight, otherwise that's really not going to be much of an advantage. It shows why that outside trucks with just 3 formed up in a row are able to maintain pace and at least challenge for that top spot. Let's go on board with Alfie Charon. Yeah, he can see a lot. You can probably read the serial number on the back of that spoiler. Mill it to the point, cross the stripe. He's got a lap led here, lap 41, as we just get to halfway. Big push coming from the 9. Mill it with just a nose in front of BJ Cox down into turn number 3. Lap truck up ahead, going way up the racetrack and having to thread it carefully here at Sperling. Jacob. Two distinct packs formed up here after the cycle. The green flag stops. That's all that it was that separated these two groups of race trucks. Green flag pit stops. But with that, we got to make our own pit stop. We're going to take a break, go HBR TV side by side. Stay with us. You won't miss a moment. Obviously, if you got to grab a beer from the fridge, please do so. But we'll be back after this.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Talladega Super Speedway, the battle continues here at the front of the field between two HBR TV sponsored trucks. Zach Millett out in front, a place that honestly he is not comfortable or familiar with on super speedways. Pretty good just about everywhere else, but this is not his cup of tea. Doing a good job. He's put in the work, put in the practice, to see if he can maintain it. Lots of racing left to go, and he's got Alfie Sharon to the outside. Also in an HBR TV sponsored machine. PJ Cox in behind Millett, and then the 89 of Mike Adamson in behind Alfie Sharon. Those two drivers on the high side doing a masterful job just staying up with the top two trucks, given that that's the only two trucks to the outside. Now you can see this pack is actually really thinned out significantly. Lap 47, going to be 48 next time by. Brian Torsha was fast early on. He's back in the 11th spot. Hunter Parsons back in 8th. He's up 3 positions on the day. And then number 5, Toyota Tundra TRD Pro. Drivers changing lanes just a bit, trying to get some fresh air to the nose of those racing machines, trying to keep those engines nice and cool. Cole Henriksen in a 101. You see him there running in the 7th spot in behind Harad. Checking back on this other pack of trucks, and that's led by Brian Torsha. Got the 11 machine of Patrick Mahaney in behind Torch. Mahaney not on the lead lap currently, back in 27th. Back out front, Sharon doing a great job on the nose of Mike Adamson, trying to take that lead away from teammate Zach Millett. Tell you, PJ Cox, though, he is one well of a pusher. PJ in the bottom lane in behind Millett. And the caution is out.
Can you look at those temps real quick, bud?
Not sure what has put us under the yellow at this point. Oh, Brian Torsha in the 7 also involved. Big time crash. 3rd caution of the day. Again, Brian, we talked about him early. He was leading this race, had a good strong run going, was 11th at the time of this incident. Let's see if we can find it here. 29 comes, okay, so it's more than just the 29 coming down. The 19 was in this. We'll back it up again. Brandon Coleman there in the 19. Trying to widen this out. Get a better angle on it. All right. Ooh, 29 was just barely there. Touches the left rear of the 19. Sends him down the track. Checks up the low lane. Torch tries to go to the bottom, but the door's already closed, and it sends him up the racetrack, crosses the nose of the 7. Big impact in the safer barrier. Derek Welch, does he get through? No, he just gets a piece. Doesn't look too bad. Again, this is down into turn number 3. Pretty big hits. Some fast repair is going to be used here if they even got any left. So pit stop's underway. Race leaders are all down here. Millett, Sharon. Now 50 laps in. No one's taking tires. We'll see if Millett opts for them or not. He does, but it's left sides only. That's an interesting take. Dumps the clutch and goes. A little slow on exit. Millett's pit stop, 8.32 seconds, and he got left side tires. See, he's probably going to win the race on a pit road here. He does. Alfie Sharon also second out of pit lane. Actually a faster stop than Millett by a tenth, 8.22 seconds for Alfie. Mike Adamson out third, Skylar Harrod fourth, Chris Klein up into P5. Don't forget about that 51. He was very strong early on. Tough to get around once you got him out front. Well, with that, under our third caution, we're going to take a quick break here. We'll be right back after this.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Talladega Super Speedway, we're wrapping up caution number 3. Zach Millett, still your race leader. Alfie Sharon going to restart to his outside. Lights on a pace truck are off, which means green flag this time by. We got to make it all the way through the tri-oval, and then basically pit exit is where you'll see that start-finish line. Again, very different than what we see at Daytona, where that start-finish is right smack dab in the middle of the tri-oval. Field approaching the restart zone.
Green, green, green.
Pretty equal jump for Millett and Alfie Sharon as they work through turns 1 and 2. Back of the stripe, Millett still leads. Starting to change lanes here to block things up a bit. He's got the 89 of Adamson pushing him. Alfie Charon, he's got the 3 of Skylar Harrod pushing him. Harrod's showing some abilities here. Loosens up Alfie just a bit, slides up half a lane, checks up a bit to stay off the back bumper, lets him gather it back up, back down the straightaway. It's still side by side for the race lead between two HBR TV machines. Millett on the inside, Alfie Charon on the top side. Alfie with the no bull livery, and he drops down to the bottom right in front of Zach Millett. Boy, that was close. Alfie Charon to the point off of turn number 4, new leader. Big run coming to the outside, though. I don't know if I would have opened things up there on the outside lane. PJ Cox pushing the 3 of Skylar Harrod. Those are 2 fast trucks, and PJ's been shown to be able to push like nobody else here this afternoon. Charon with the lead through turns 1 and 2. One car on the line. I think it might be Albert Anderson. Tough to say. Yes, it was. Drops it to the bottom on the apron, back up to the banking. I don't know if he got forced down there or if he's having a different issue. Meanwhile, out front, big push from PJ Cox propels the 3 truck to the lead. Back at the bottom, fighting back as the 2 HBR TV machines, Alfie Charon and Zach Millett at the line. Harrod's going to lead this one. He dropped down in front of the 9. Nope, stays in front of PJ Cox for the time being. Now Alfie gets alongside. Seesaw battle, just so crazy to watch here at the front of the field. The inside noses to the front, the outside fights back, and then vice versa. They continue the exchange. It's coming down to crunch time, 25 laps to go, and they're going to have to make one more stop before this one's all said and done. On board with Alfie Charon as the race lead. Run coming to the outside. Skylar Harrod, PJ Cox. PJ with another good push. Alfie maintaining the top spot. Millett there in the second spot alongside the 3 is Skylar Harrod. Third row, it's the 89 of Mike Adamson, then the 05 of PJ Cox as they work the back straightaway. There's just no way these guys make it all the way to the end without wadding up more trucks. It's going to happen. It's Talladega Super Speedway. You're inches apart. This pack is still pretty good sized. You got 3 wide racing midway through it. Guys trying to make some moves here in the top lane. The 00 and the 29. Jacob Bowen. Jesse Sperling. Meanwhile, back out front, Skylar Harrod trying to go for the race lead once again, but Alfie is going to pull alongside and prevent the 3 from dropping down. I don't know if Skylar just doesn't want to lose the 05 as a pusher. We talked about building some trust and camaraderie between the drivers. That seems to have happened between the 05 and the 3 as the 19 goes high. Actually, I think it's the 18 of Lawson. Skylar can certainly make a move here and get alongside Alfie Charon, maybe get clear and drop it down to the bottom like Alfie did to Zach Millett, but Alfie goes topside. Now he's going to block the run. Maybe Millett needs to cool the engine down. They switch spots. That's going to check up the top lane. Now we got 3 lanes out of turn 2. .21 laps to go. Millett, Charon out in front. Adamson, Harrod, 3rd and 4th. Chris Klein lurking on the bottom, in behind the 89 of Adamson. 6 or 7 trucks here out of turn 4, flying in formation. You think the Blue Angels are cool? You haven't seen this yet. Don't trade paint on an airplane. You do it with these trucks, though. Skylar Harrod all over the back bumper. Alfie Charon pushing through the corner. Alfie's doing all he can to hang on to it. 20 laps to go down the backstretch. Still 2. Matt Black, HBR TV Hoods out in front. Jay Cox, I don't know if he lost the sight line there, but he goes real wide for a second, tucks right back in behind the 3, but that's going to check up that lane just a bit. It's going to open the door. Only 3 cars, 3 trucks. Now it's 4 on the outside. I thought we were going to have another line to the outside, the extreme high lane, and they're still thinking about it. 00 and then the 29 coming into the picture here. That's Jacob Bowen. 29 of Jesse Sperling is not on the lead lap, but he's trying to get it back the hard way. PJ Cox and Skylar really pushing Alfie Charon out in front, trying to separate him from Zach Millett. They've done just that. Alfie, though, back to the point. Now Skylar back in the 2nd spot. Millett there in 3rd. Almost some contact with Millett and Skylar. Millett now changes lanes. He's got Adamson to the outside. Don't know if they got a little bit of a push there in the tri-oval, but a big wiggle out of the 315 at the stripe. Once again, the HBR TV roadblock continues. $18 laps to go. So much chaos left to unfold. It's not even funny, folks. It's going to get weird. Truck down low. It might be Eric Beadle back in the hunt. I'm not 100% certain. Indeed it is. Oh, Beadle last on the board. He gets it into the grass. I don't know if he's trying to check something or what's going on here with the 119. He's been in the pits for the majority of this race trying to get those repairs made. Had a fast truck early on. Still struggling, though. I think if I'm him, I'm going to hit pit lane and use the fast repair that I was not able to use earlier if I'm going to continue to race out here. He's significantly off pace. Back to the battle out front. Charon with the lead. And it's a battle for second between the 3 and the 315. It just feels like the calm before the storm, folks. Again, they've been doing a great job here for the latter half of this race, keeping things together. Hard racing, but keeping it clean. Closer and closer, we get to see the checkered flag. The more that goes out the window. We're going to see 3 wide here in just a moment. In fact, we see it right now. PJ Cox, the meat in the sandwich. Ottinger down on the bottom. Jacob Bowen trying to do something up top with the 29. Again, the 29 a lap machine. Can still help draft. Coming to 15 laps to go. Alfie Charon still with the lead, and some pit stops likely taking place here. Yes, indeedy. Hunter Parsons, Cole Hendrickson, Evan Dupre, Jacob Sterling all down pit lane here. This will be their final stop of the day. Smart to come down in groups. Again, you want to leave pit lane with some help. Jacob Sperling. Looks like fuel only for Parsons. Same for Heinrichsen. They leave the pits perfectly timed together. Evan Dupre, Jacob Sperling still in the pits. Might have gotten popped for speeding. Nope, just a slow stop, 17:05. That's going to hurt Dupre as well because he's out there too far back for the draft between the two trucks ahead of him and nobody out the back that can help him either. That's going to be a coffin nail for the 47. Meanwhile, out front, big things happening. Millet back to the point. Jacob Bowen now up for the second spot in the 00. Alfie Charon now fighting back for that second spot. These two will just not go away. As we said it, here it is, 3 wide for the top 3 rows. We got 9 trucks here, 3 wide into turns 1 and 2. They cleaned it up for a moment. But you got to wonder, how are they going to get lined out here for pit stops? They're likely coming soon. Seen some drivers already taking the opportunity. Looks like Charon on the bottom. He's getting ready to pit. I don't know if the guys behind him know that. We'll see. The trick is to get out of line without lifting. Off turn number 4. Let's see if they take the pit lane this time. No, they stay in the gas. Ooh, Skyler trying to force it up the middle there. Door was slammed before he could get the truck in there. Machine of Jacob Sperling, a lap truck to the outside. He's going to be way off the pace, but he's staying right out of the way, letting these drivers race it out. 12 and a half laps to go down the backstretch. Millet still with the race lead. Again, these drivers are getting ready for their final stop of the day. Can't imagine it's going to be anything but fuel only for everybody, especially under the green flag. Big wiggle for the 00. They stay out again. Maybe pushing it as far as they can go on fuel. Just a quick splash. Down into turn number 3. Millet there in the second spot in the low lane. Adamson pushing. The aggression level has dropped off slightly with these lead trucks, knowing that pit stops are coming. I think they're just trying to give everybody a little extra space so when the time comes, they don't all wad it up trying to come to pit lane. Coming to 11 laps to go. Bowen still with the lead. Oh, some wiggling going on. That bump at the tri-oval, we talked about it a bunch. Bowen now clears Zach Millet, drops to the inside in front of the 315. Slides back up the track, though. Continues to take that drafting assist from the 29 truck, who is not on the lead lap. The number 29 machine there in behind Jacob Bowen. That's Jesse Sperling. He's the first truck 1 lap down, so if we get a caution, he's in good shape. Another slow truck up on the top side in the middle of 3 and 4. Out of the way, makes it nice and easy. And Millet pulls to the left side. Pit stops underway. Final round of pit stops under the green flag here with 11 coming to 10 laps to go. Millet locks him up. Oh, in contact. Bowen gets into Millet. Coming down pit lane, Millett keeps it straight. Bowen spins it around. Hopefully Millett got slowed up in time. Gotta watch for a pit road penalty. You have yet to see him get one on an HBR TV broadcast, but there's always that first time. Alfie Sharon down and away. Millett down and away. Must have got slowed up in time. Little bit of right side damage. Hopefully the truck's still sleek in the wind. He's not going to fix it now. 10 laps to go. Eric Beadle pulls out there. He's going to be with Zach Millett. Remember, he was fast early on. If Beadle got that fast repair, he's going to be a big assist to the 315. While PJ Cox stayed on the racetrack. He inherited the race lead. Does he come to pit lane? Looks like they're gonna. Man, oh man, it makes you nervous watching these guys come off turn 4 and try to get slowed down. PJ Cox trying to. There's contact with Chris Klein in the 29 truck. Trying to even find those guys. Klein gathers it back up. I don't know if he's going to get dinged for a penalty there, but the 29 making contact with Chris Klein on pit entry. You saw it happen live. Then the 29 drives through the pit box. Klein down and away. Back out front now, Mark Collins takes over the top spot. Mike Adamson now second. Millett third. Sharon fourth. Mark Collins comes to pit road. So, prospective race leaders working the back straightaway here, coming into turn number 3 as Mark Collins into the pits. I'm going to say fuel only for the 23. I'm no dummy. Top it off and go. Spins the tires and away he goes. 6.93 seconds to stop. Leaders are coming to the trial, although he's certainly going to lose the lead. Won't be up to speed in time. So Hunter Parsons will take over the top spot as he goes by the 5 of Collins, who's just leaving pit road. 8 laps to go. So you see him lined up. You see Zach Millett, Eric Beadle, and Alfie Sharon, the 3 trucks on the bottom there. All racing out of the same stables. See if they can work together and build a draft and make this one work. Back and forth between Adamson and Parsons for the race lead. Coming to the stripe, it's going to be 7 laps to go. Parsons right alongside of Adamson at the stripe. He's actually going to lead that lap. He's got the 101 of Henriksen pushing. Talked about the calm before the storm. It's shaping up once again. These guys are trying to plot out their strategies here for the remaining 6 laps. When do you make that ultimate move? When do you go for the race lead? Can you go for the race lead? Looking at it right now, the inside lane, he's got nowhere to go. Got to have enough of a truck width in the middle to go up, go up the cut there. Millett's going to have to find a way there. He's going to hope his guys go with him. Right now, there's just no room. You can't change lanes unless something happens to the outside. Maybe you can slide up and try and make something work. But if he does that, Millett specifically, he's going to lose his drafting partners. He's going to lose his teammates. He's got to find a way around the 89 of Adamson, though. Coming to 5 laps to go. It seems like everybody's tagging up on the outside. They're not going to work with the inside lane. 3 HBR TV trucks working together and almost some contact. Adamson getting loosened up. Millett might have made some contact with the 89. Trying to make something happen here. 5 laps to go. Some shucking and jiving in the outside lane. Change of position. Alfie Charon jumps up into the outside as well. Trying to do something. Sticking on the bottom just isn't working out. Now there's only 3 trucks down low. Charon's still trying to make a decision. Which lane do I want to go in? Do I help these guys? And Charon does drop back down to the bottom. 4 laps to go. Parsons now to the race lead. Adamson second. Parsons stays up in the top lane. Probably a wise move. The numbers are there. Almost a wreck there between the 18 of Lawson and the 6 of Sisk. That one's going to kill me all season. 3.5 laps to go. Adamson now a nose out in front over Parsons. Big push coming to the inside. Millett has an opportunity to drop up the racetrack. He wants to bring Beetle with him, but he's got room. He can do it now if he wants. Beetle goes with him. No, he doesn't. Sticks with the draft. Goes to the inside. I don't know why Beetle's doing. He's a lap down. But Alfie Charon now to the back bumper as Zach Millett coming to the stripe. It's 3 laps to go. They make the move around the 89. Looks like Beetle did not want to make a super aggressive move there. Dropped out of the draft. Went to the apron. Let Millett and Alfie go to battle here at the front of the field once again. Millett now leads. Alfie in behind. Big push from Adamson. Parsons and Henriksen working down the back straightaway, trying to push back around. 3 wide in the front 2 rows. Alfie pushing Zach Millett as hard as he can. Coming to 2 laps to go. The outside lane regrouping again. I still don't believe we made it this far without another major crash, but here we are with a lap and a half to go down the back straightaway at Talladega. Parsons with the lead just by a nose. Down the backstretch, a truck into the wall, gathers it back up. Parsons still with the race lead. That might have hurt the outside lane's momentum. Millett's to the bottom. Parsons stays up top. I don't know if Parsons had enough to come back down there. It looked like he might have been cleared. Big time run. Now he can drop down if he wants, but he's going to lose the dancing partner. Push, push, push. White flag in the air. Last lap from Talladega. Parsons way out in front. Heinrichsen in second. Millett pushes on by. Now Alfie's pushing back to the front here with Millett to the point. Anybody's race here on to turn number 2. I still don't think they're going to make it back to the stripe without major carnage. Inside lane, Millett and Charon. Middle lane, it's Parsons and Heinrichsen. Battle for the race lead into turn 3 and 4. The lead and possibly the win here at Talladega Super Speedway. Zach Millett hates this kind of racing. It's not his cup of tea, but he's been doing really well here tonight. Does he have enough to get to the stripe and win this race, or is Parsons going to take it away? They draft into the tri-oval. Checkered flag waves in contact. They're wrecking across the stripe, and it looks like Parsons might have won this. Unofficial results, it's Parsons, Millett, Sisk, Beverly, and Harrod. What a finish. Hunter Parsons looks to have taken the checkered flag here. Let's try to get a better look at this finish. That's the white flag. We don't want that. That's okay. I see what happened here. So here comes the field. Barney changes flags here. He's going to grab the checkers. Waits till the last minute. Yeah, Parsons definitely to the line first. Get a better look at it from the blimp. Really looks like Alfie just an ill-timed push. If he had just stuck to the back bumper, I don't know, Millett might have won it. Celebration underway here at start-finish. Parsons with the race win. I think Millett's just celebrating because he got home to the finish on the lead lap. Hunter Parsons extremely happy, and he just disappears. So with that, we're going to take our last break. We'll be back with our top 3 finishers in the HBR TV booth after this. Stay with us, folks. We'll be right back.
I met Marco Sgarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Talladega Super Speedway, Hunter Parsons with the race win. First race of the season here in the Davidson Builders Truck Series. What a finish. It was just the last few hundred yards that he took over that top spot, crosses the start-finish line first, and takes home the checkered flag. Let's pull Hunter into the broadcast booth and get a word with our race winner, the driver, the number 5 Toyota Tundra TRD Pro, Hunter Parsons. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear.
Hunter, congratulations, man. Oh, what a finish. A great race. The latter, third of this race was just unbelievable to watch, and things all went to hell in a handbasket there coming out of the tri-oval. What it looked like from your perspective, how did you dodge the carnage and take the checkered flag?
Yeah, luckily we just had the field position between me and my teammates Cole and Evan. We decided to pit early and try and get in front of the chaos if there was going to be a wreck. Luckily we had some good draft help with some other guys, and we were able to almost take over the lead out through that last pit cycle, and that's ultimately what I think won it for us there.
Well, certainly a great race. I mean, you came down pit road, I think 65. Millett was lap 70 and Joshua Sisk was lap 81. So varying strategies across the board. A quick pit stop by you got you back out there with some drafting help and just a focused finish all the way to the checkered flag. Congratulations, man. A well-deserved win.
Thank you. Yeah, good team showing there for the 101 guys. It's our first time in this league, so we're very timid for a little bit on who drove, you know, how everyone would drive with each other, especially here at Talladega. So we kind of just wanted to separate ourselves a little bit, not really knowing anyone. So luckily we were able to just kind of make the right calls at the right time and stay alive.
Certainly is a get-to-know-you period in the first race of the season in a new league. I sometimes question leagues that run the super speedways right off the bat, but I don't know, if NASCAR can run Daytona the first race of the season, why can't we do it here at Talladega? So it is what it is. It's worked out, but next week we switch things up completely different. We go out to Sonoma Raceway, the road course, is second race of the season. We're jumping right at it, throwing you guys to the wolves. How do you feel about your shots on a road course?
Road courses, I'm hit or miss. I race in another Premier League on Monday nights, and we do a lot of road courses. Same trucks, same circuit as NASCAR, so road courses I seem to do pretty well in. I'm going to be getting a new wheel on Thursday, so switching to direct drive. So it's going to be a big learning curve, and hopefully can get some laps in time in Sonoma and at least have a good finish. But at least we have a win here, so no matter what, the rest of the season we're locked into the playoffs.
Best way to break in new hardware, go to a road course and test it out. Hunter,
For sure.
Congratulations on a race win. Who do you want to shout out to before we let you go?
First off, teammate Cole in the 101, giving me that push the last, 10 or so laps on that middle lane. And Evan Dupre as well. He had a little rougher night, but everyone on the truck, Blanchard's Towing, big sponsor in the sim world for me. 101 Designs, T10 for the wrap, and then the guys at Joe Gibbs Racing.
All right, Hunter. Well, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck next week out of California.
All right, thank you.
It's Hunter Parsons, your race winner here from Talladega Super Speedway. Next, we're going to talk to that S4 guy, driver of the Holly Boys Racing TV number 315. It's Zach Millett. We'll pull him up. Zach, it's Steve in the booth. You got us?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
We got you loud and clear. Congratulations, man, for a guy that hates super speedways. You looked pretty stout out there. Spent a lot of the afternoon, merely the halfway point on, near or at the front of the field with some drafting help with Alfie Sharon. A lot of side-by-side action with the teammate. Then Eric Beadle came into the mix. Walk us through the closing laps. What was the strategy after that restart and those pit stops? Eric Beadle was out there with you and then all of a sudden disappeared. What was the game plan, or was there one?
Well, it was just kind of survive until then, if at all possible. And of course, I think all of us pretty much lost our fast pair before lap 20, so that was cool. Heavy breathing the rest of the race, and basically we knew we had enough teammates to kind of just, stay competitive. And that's really, in my opinion, that's all this kind of racing is. If you don't have any friends, you're not going to be there. That's all it is. So luckily we had enough guys, and I don't know, we just kind of tried to get to the front, control the field as much as possible, by one of us running down low and one of us up high, and that kind of got us towards the end at least. Our pit stops kind of came down to a last-second decision. We just kind of wanted to short pit. It was getting kind of dicey out there. Some of us were leaning on each other, and it was going to be a big chaotic end if we didn't come in. So we got it woed down on pit road. I think somebody got into the right side of me there. I was doing a little drifting just to make it to the box, but man, I'm glad it worked out. Like you said, I hate these damn things. these super speedways. I'm just happy it's over.
Well, you did look stout out there. Certainly, you've learned a few things of the mistakes made in the past. A second-place finish. Walk us through that last couple hundred yards there coming through the tri-oval. It looked like an ill-timed or an off-center push from teammate Alfie Sharon. What happened from your perspective?
Oh, I'll tell you exactly what happened. That 9 truck, that poor little Chevy was being put right through hell, and it blew up right before that cone. I don't know if you could hear it over the broadcast, but that thing blew right sky high. And one of the pistons shot somehow out, hit the back of my truck, gave me just a little bit of a boost. So it came off his nose and unfortunately came over to Hunter's nose as well. And at that point, I was looking towards the pace car, and, well, I'm just going to turn right, hit the go pedal, and hope for the best. And can't believe we got a second out of that, man.
Well, speaking of turning right, next week, right up your alley, Sonoma Raceway. How do you feel about your shot next week?
Oh, man, I'm so happy to turn right with purpose. I can't wait. Don't want to talk about the last time I was at Sonoma in a truck, but it was still a good race. I can't complain, you know. So I'm looking forward to that. We're gonna put some practice in, and yeah, man, I can't wait.
I think the last run at Sonoma was, I think, the Noble Racing Series, and you lost to Brian McCann, if I remember correctly.
That's the one.
Okay.
Yeah. No, if I'm gonna lose to anybody, I'll lose to Brian. He's fast. He's awesome in these trucks.
Brian McCann lights out just about anywhere they go. But wish you the best of luck next week, Zach. Congratulations on P2 here tonight. Who do you want to shout out to?
Well, I definitely didn't have anything organized for this because I didn't see this happening. But I got to thank you, Steve, and HBR TV for the broadcast as always. Holler Boys Racing, HBRshops.com, Track Bar Media, NTRL, Derek Welch, everything he does for this league. I know it's all the admins and everything. I know it's a lot of work, and we all appreciate it. It's a lot of fun to come out here on Tuesday nights and race hell. Eric Dawson State Farm Castle Products. Got to thank my teammates, old Alfie. We got Beetle, Torch. We had a heck of a lineup tonight. And shoot me a follow over on the Twitch world at that S4 guy.
Zach Millett, your second place finisher here from Talladega Super Speedway. Wishing him the best of luck at Sonoma next week. And next up, what did I tell you, folks? Keep an eye on this guy, Josh Sisk. I'm going to mess it up every time. I can read it, but I can't say it. It's Joshua Sisk in the number 6. This is horrible. You got to change your number, Josh. You got a copy?
I do. How are you, Steve?
We're doing good. Congratulations on a third place finish up on the podium here at Talladega Super Speedway. We talked about you in the broadcast. We talked off air before the broadcast. I said, I expect to see you up near the front. And while you finished this thing out with a third place finish, walk us through your race. A little bit of adversity you had to overcome. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I've got caught up in one of the big wrecks early. I think people were just a little eager to get the season going. You know, no harm, no foul. Elected not to use the fast repair, just fix the damage. Kind of rode patiently in the back, and then both times right before green flag stop started, I was in communication with my teammates Skylar Harold and Dallin Grote, and I just elected it was time to go. Kind of made my way up front both times, got good track position for the green flag stops. The cautions did kind of fall our way at the end so we could put tires on it. I know that sounds crazy at Talladega, but when you go for a spin, you know, you don't have a lot of tire left, so we ended up in a good spot. Huge shout out to Skylar for a great push. Skunkworks Graphics, passingunderyellow.com. Those guys are making it happen. And man, just at the end, it kind of worked out. We were trying really hard with about 3 to go and had to kind of shuffle some guys out of the high line out of our way. And then look, the finish was great. I hope it was entertaining for you as it was to drive.
You know, it was just a matter of crazy anticipation for the last half of that race, just knowing something crazy is about to happen. And it did finally, about 200-300 yards shy of the finish line. You come home in the third spot, so again, congratulations. I got to ask, though, I don't know all you guys all that well just yet. How do you run on road courses? Because next week, we're out at Sonoma Raceway.
So, you know, I'm not afraid. I'm not going to say I'm a ringer, but I did make a lot of laps when the trucks were at C Open at Sonoma. So I haven't raced it on the fixed setup, but I have made a lot of laps in the open setup. We'll turn a lot of practice laps this weekend and get it dialed in, and hopefully we'll be competitive. I'm not sure we have enough to win, but we're going to do everything we can to be putting ourselves in a position to capitalize on others' mistakes and or take the check at ourselves.
Well, Joshua, we certainly look forward to it. It's going to be an entertaining race. Road courses in stock cars or trucks, honestly, one of my favorite things to watch and do. It's going to be a fun one for sure. Josh, congratulations again. A third place finish here tonight. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
Just one more time, huge shout out to Skylar Harold. We were in the earpieces together. He stayed locked to me. He trusted me on the moves that we were going to make. Never decommitted. Never one time did I feel like I was going to be left out. And that resulted in us getting a P3 and a P6. Skunkworks Graphics for wrapping the truck up. He wraps all my cars, actually. He's a super awesome dude. Hate that he had some unfortunate luck with his sim equipment at the start, and passingunderyellow.com. They're my setup shop. I'm a house guy for them, so that it's been a blessing, and I just appreciate everybody. Thanks for covering us, Steve.
Joshua Sisk, your third place finisher here at Talladega. Good luck next week at Sonoma.
Thank you, sir.
That's going to wrap up the interview portion of our broadcast. Let's take a look at our official race results. We talked to our winners, of course. Hunter Parsons, Zach Millett, Joshua Sisk. Fourth place finisher was Cole Henriksen. Mark Beverly in the number 45 finishes P5. Skylar Harold in the 6th position. Alfie Charon finishes 7th. Mike Adamson was 8th. Paul Durkee comes home 9th. 10th went to Justin Lawson. Brandon Coleman was 11th. Mark Collins 12th. Brian Torsha battles back to a 13th place finish. Led some laps here tonight. Had a strong run. Keep an eye on the 81 this year. Scott Milner was 14th. Jeff Ottinger 15th. Derek Welch was 16th. 17th finisher PJ Cox, also a very strong night. Did not get the finish that is indicative of the night that he had. He was a great pusher. Spent some time in the lead. Watch for more good things out of PJ Cox this season. Tom Barish was 18th. Chris Klein, another guy, the number 51, 19th. Guy looked strong early on, didn't get it done. 20th was Dave Holmberg. Jacob Sperling, 21st. Ben McKinnon was 22nd. Evan Dupre, 23rd. Russ Kilgore was 24th. 25th position was Jacob Bowen. Jesse Sperling comes home 26th. Patrick Mahaney was 27th. Albert Anderson, 28th. 29th went to D. Allen Grote. Justin Morrow was 30th. Mike Eden, 31st, and 32nd, 44 laps down, the 119 of Eric Beadle. Also spent some time at the front of the field, but involved in a crash late, well, actually early for that matter, came back late, trying to help out some teammates at the finish. Still finishes last, but not all for nothing. He didn't give up, didn't rage quit, got the truck fixed after missing the fast repair, and did what he could to help out, but unfortunately for him, not a great points day for the 119. Gotta thank you guys all for tuning in tonight. Congratulations again to Hunter Parsons winning tonight's race. Gotta thank you guys in the stream chat for participation. That is always welcomed and encouraged. Just keep it PG for the kids. If you haven't already done so, give us a like on the stream, a follow on the page. That'll be youtube.com/@HBRTV and the number 1. Also, if you haven't checked it out already, the website, hbrtv1.com. Typically, you'll have some links there each day for the live broadcast. I've been kind of lazy lately and haven't been able to update that. Also some race pics on occasion, some real world racing pictures that I try to get posted up when I have a chance to get into Photoshop and do some editing. And also there is a link on there for you iRacing painters. Sometimes you get some oddball logos that are hard to find or hard to come by. Sometimes you got to make your own. Well, I do the same thing. I post the hard ones, or really anything I've got up on that link and that tab on our webpage. Again, hbrtv1.com. If you get a chance, check it out. If you have a logo of your own that you want available to the masses, let us know in Discord. We'll get it posted up there. If you make your own logos, if anything oddball that you want up there, it's hard to find, and you appreciate guys that are trying to do the same, let us know. We'll get it posted on the website for you guys to make everybody have access to that for their own personal use with painting iRacing. With that said, that wraps us up here. HBR TV Race 1 in the books. The Talladega, the Numb Thumbs Racing League Truck Series presented by Davidson Builders. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Join us at the next one. We got the Lone Star Racing Truck Series tomorrow. Tune in for that. I think it's about 8 p.m. in the East, early on in the season. Still can't get that one figured out. But tune in about 7:45. You won't miss it if you do just that. Again, right here on HBR TV. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good night.